my kids appreciate.
I'm just in the toilet, guys. Give me a couple of minutes, please. I'm trying to have a shit and a cigarette, so please bear with me, guys. I'm so sorry.
I appreciate everything that you do for us. I appreciate you getting us this. I appreciate you taking us on holiday. I appreciate you getting me these trainers. Like, at least my kids appreciate the value of things in life. But
sorry.
they struggle, mate. Like, I know people that are married, they're struggling because their husband or their other partner is just acting like they're not part of the parenting situation. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that as well. Half your people are married, yeah, and your husband doesn't even get up in the middle of the night to do the night piece, which is not nice. That's not a nice feeling, man. You know. But if you decide to be a mum or a dad, yeah, you should not neglect your kids. That's the number one thing. And I see bare people on this app neglect their kids day in and out, mate. And I always wanted another kid there, but I feel like I'm 32. I don't want to do school run at like 40 plus. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did go through a DV rosie with my baby dad. Quite bad as well.
I said no, it's not nice, it's not easy. Everyone has their struggle, but we choose to have children.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you decide to be a parent,
Okay, look at Ossie. What's Ossie doing?
it's put back to his dad.
What reason?
If you decide to be a parent, yeah.
Okay, so FK said, is saying it's not flex, as in not something you say out loud and flaunt. Everyone is different.
Okay. When I said it, was I not joking, Psycho? Like, wasn't I winding up like right as soon as the battle? Yeah, I was.
Oh. Hey.
He was joking.
That's what I'm saying.
But to be honest, to that person that's saying that comment, yeah, I don't really care because I've had so many people message me on this app that have not been able to find work and they're single moms, yeah, and they struggle so much and they literally say that because
so she just said, okay, oh my God, we are not talking about her. Can she not understand?
But what's the problem? Why are they crying?
Like, what part is she not getting? I didn't say it because of her.
I think that's enough, guys, innit? I think we did more than enough, right? I'm too tired. My legs, my feet's hurting now, sitting in this position. But look, there was no gaslighting there, and I did nothing wrong at all, okay?
There was just a whole load of doo-doo.
Sorry?
There's a whole load of talking doo-doo, bro.
And I've made some new mods as we was doing the live. So welcome team. I don't know why I do this. It's a bad habit, but I trust you lot with all my guts. Okay, so yeah, Zed, if you want to come on the live, you can and speak about it, no problem. But there was no gaslight so far. It's a 3-hour live, and we're in
Hi, new mod.
1 hour 17 minutes, and there was no gaslighting so far. Walaikum assalam, Motiye, how are you? So please don't ever make me feel like
I've a whole load of me. I'll be so honest.
What I meant, and again, okay, fine, if you speak, but then don't say that we sat there making fun.
My situation's bad. I have the worst life. I've been through the worst. You couldn't ever compare.
Listen. Let me speak. Let me quickly speak. Yeah. Let me tell you something, Psycho. Stop fucking embarrassing yourself and trying to explain yourself to people because there's no explanation needed. You are my friend. You are my grandson. Stop embarrassing yourself because you're embarrassing me. Okay? You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. That is self-explanatory. Okay? End of conversation. I'm getting pissed off now. Stop explaining yourself to people.
Oof. Not the Bengali body temper. Not the 5'5" rage quit.
Would also just like to make a quick point that...
Sister Aisha, could I get 10 roses? Because the whole panel got it, but except...
eating a pizza.
No, but can I say something, yeah? to the people that are a bit confused, the reason why I did this live and the reason why I'm explaining myself and to you, Grandma, to tell you, is because, look, me and her are cool. We're on good terms. We're okay with each other, yeah? So I don't want to feel like, I don't want her to feel like I've done something bad or I've sided with Ems and ignored her DV shit or made fun of it. I don't want to feel like that. Do you get it? I don't want her to feel like that. Hence, because you know, Grandma, how my heart is, how I am. I'm like that. I will never change. This is my good side always.
At least my kids appreciate.
I'm just in the toilet, guys. Can we
eating a pizza?
No, but can I say something, yeah? To the people that are a bit confused, the reason why I did this live and the reason why I'm explaining myself and to you, Grandma, to tell you, is because, look, me and her are cool. We're on good terms. We're okay with each other, yeah? So I don't want to feel like, I don't want her to feel like I've done something bad or I've sided with Ems and ignored her DV shit or made fun of it. I don't want to feel like that. Do you get it? I don't want her to feel like that. Hence, because you know, Grandma, how my heart is, how I am. I'm like that. I will never change. This is my good side always. I like to let people know that I've not done wrong by them. Neither I will ever do that, because there was no involvement of me anyway. It was between Ems and Zed. That's it. And furthermore,
It wasn't even between us. This is what I'm saying. The whole thing.
And furthermore, it was nothing to do with Zed. Did I not say it was self-explanatory? I don't know what that word.
You were like,
You know what that word means? That word is very out of my decade. That you're older than me, Grandma. I'm young, so can you explain it in my English term, please? Can you break it down for me, word for word?
basically, she's saying everybody can see what the dirty little is like, so you don't need to explain it. She never stuck it on her. No, I didn't stick it on her because there's no point. At the end of the day, anybody who has common sense knows.
I'm so sorry. Zardia is such a messy person.
Big up Zarda. Yes.
Oh, Zarda. Guess who's live? Dr. Hasti. Oh, shall we go live and create some mayhem there?
I'm talking.
Okay, whatever, what?
You always do this to me.
You're boring.
And then are you fucking dumb?
I'm joking, carry on.
No, there's no point sticking it on somebody that won't let you talk and won't do anything about it. Like, she's not going to change her ways. She's constantly going to talk about herself and her situation. Cool, you want to do that, cool. But don't make a situation there's nothing about it, because now you are literally just being as narcissistic as the man who beat you. Like,
don't do that.
No, but I'm sorry.
No, I will get that. Like that, I don't want to be...
Well, if she wants to come for you, then she's in the wrong. Come for me, talk to me. Because you didn't have a word to say to my face then, but you had a lot to say on the live about me. You had a hell of a lot to say then, and I didn't even open my mouth, Psycho.
It's my enemy type
No,
shit.
because I didn't open my mouth. I didn't say nothing. I never, ever, ever said anything in that
Grandma,
live
should I take hands off?
or against her. I never said anything.
You won't get
But she wanted to come for me and my son and talk about my parenting.
Okay, Ems, hold your train there. Okay, Grandma said you can go, so you can go, no problem. I won't stop you.
At the end of the day, there's limits, sis. Okay, and her limit was bringing me and my child into it when it had nothing to do with her, when I never said a word to her. I sat there and said it is an awful thing that she went through, 110%. A lot of women go through it. I've been there. I have been in her situation. No, it's not nice, but it does not give you the right to invalidate somebody else's feelings and somebody else's life and trauma.
Oh, you go, girl.
That does not make you right. So what? Because she went through something bad, that means that I couldn't have gone through anything, or nobody else can go through something. She could have gone, oh, okay, cool, my bad, sorry, and left it. But no, it had to be switched around and turned into a whole fucking thing. This didn't need to be a whole thing. You didn't need to run back to Psycho and message him whatever you've messaged him. You didn't need to sit there and do all of that. But you did. But you still did. You had that choice. The same way that you chose to have children. The same way that we choose to say and do everything that we do. Everything in life is a choice, and I stand by what I said. I'm not going to go back on what I said. Just because some people may not agree with it, or some people may think, oh, I've gone a bit far. I don't care. I lost all respect the minute that she decided to bring me involved in something that had nothing to do with me. Maybe sort out your own trauma.
Can you stretch a bit more longer? I'm going to get some food and we're not eating.
Yeah. Maybe sort out your own... She took the flex comment wrong, which has now led to this. But even Psycho said to her, she's not talking to you. And she said, oh, okay. And then still decided to talk about herself. And then still decided to drag that I do more for my kids than you ever probably could, and you're not a mother. And then you still want to start talking. You knew it wasn't about you. You didn't take it in the wrong way. You just found an opening in which you could talk about yourself. And at the end of the day, if that's the trauma that you hold, then I'm very sorry it happened to you. Wallah, I'm very sorry it happened to you. I don't wish it to happen to anybody. But maybe sort you out and you gain the help that you need before you come for other people and try to downgrade other people's traumas and all of this and that and the others, because it's not fair. She had so much to say, but her ears weren't open. She didn't listen to anybody. She become defensive, thinking people were coming for her. Yeah, but there was no need, because it'd already been said that nobody had said anything. She was made very clear that nobody had said anything towards her. She just found an opening to make it about her.
I got excuse me, I got callaloo white rice with steamed veg and a drink.
It looks very nice.
Continue, sir.
Thanks, ma'am. But no, I don't know. I just feel like she's obviously still going through a lot. And
I'm sorry, Kazima, I know you can't afford this, so you get your plate of stone and water. And
I'm dead.
With Mura.
For someone that says they don't talk about their trauma, we're sure talking a lot. Yeah, and I get it. Listen, if you want to talk about your trauma, talk about your trauma. But there's a time and a place, and there's a way to do it. There's a way to go about it. If you talking about your trauma means that you have to invalidate other people and make other people feel low just to make yourself feel better, you're a bully. You are a bully. You are a nasty, nasty person.
This is all meat, all vegetables, Grandma.
No meat? No meat.
I'm a healthy boy.
Low. I don't know. I just... There's a lot I want to say, but like I said, there's a time and a place to say certain things. But you...
Grandma gave me the green light. She said, go for it, so go for it, babe.
No, it's not even that. No, it's not even that, Lisa. You know me, I don't...
Are you scared?
Let's not recap the shit that I've said on this app. Nobody's scared of what I say on TikTok. But how do we...
At least my kids appreciate...
I'm just in the toilet, guys. Give me a couple of minutes, please. I'm trying to have a shit and a cigarette, so please bear with me, guys. I'm so sorry.
I appreciate everything that you do for us. I appreciate you getting us this. I appreciate you taking us on holiday. I appreciate you getting me these trainers. Like, at least my kids appreciate the value of things in life. But
sorry.
they struggle, mate. Like, I know people that are married, they're struggling because their husband or their other partner is just acting like they're not part of the parenting situation. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that as well. Half your people are married, yeah, and your husband doesn't even get up in the middle of the night to do the night piece, which is not nice. That's not a nice feeling, man. You know. But if you decide to be a mum or a dad, yeah, you should not neglect your kids. That's the number one thing. And I see bare people on this app neglect their kids day in and out, mate. And I always wanted another kid there, but I feel like I'm 32. I don't want to do school run at like 40 plus. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did go through a DV rosie with my baby dad. Quite bad as well.
And said no, it's not nice, it's not easy. Everyone has their struggle, but we choose to have children.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you decide to be a parent,
Okay, if you look at Aussie, what's Aussie doing?
it's put back to his dad.
What reason?
If you decide to be a parent, yeah.
Okay, so FK said, Ems is saying it's not a flex, as in not something you say out loud and flaunt. Everyone is different.
Okay. When I said it, was I not joking, Psycho? Like, wasn't I one that were like right and stood into the battle? Yeah, I was.
Oh. Hey.
Just joking.
That's what I'm saying.
But to be honest, to that person that's saying that comment, yeah, I don't really care because I've had so many people message me on this app that have not been able to find work and they're single moms, yeah, and they struggle so much and they literally say that because
Okay, so she just said, okay, oh my God, we are not talking about her. Can she not understand?
but what's the problem? Why are they crying?
Like, what part is she not getting? I didn't say it because of her.
I think that's enough, guys, innit? I think we did more than enough, right? I'm too tired. My legs, like, my feet's hurting now, sitting in this position. But look, there was no gaslighting there, and I did nothing wrong at all, okay?
There was just a whole load of doo-doo.
Sorry?
There was a whole load of talking doo-doo, bro.
And okay, and I've made some new mods as we was doing the live. So welcome team. I don't know why I do this. It's a bad habit, but I trust you lot with all my guts. Okay, so yeah, Zed, if you want to come on the live, you can and speak about it, no problem. But there was no gaslight so far. It's a 3-hour live, and we're in
Hi, Nima.
1 hour 17 minutes, and there was no gaslighting so far. Walaikum assalam, Motiye, how are you? So please don't ever make me feel like
Just
I've
a whole load of me. I'll be so honest.
what I meant, and again, okay,
It's
fine, if
just
you speak,
so
that's fine, but then don't say that we sat there making
It's
fun
that
of
my situation's bad. I have the worst life. I've been through the worst. You couldn't ever compare.
Listen, let me speak. Let me quickly speak, yeah? Let me tell you something, Psycho. Stop fucking embarrassing yourself and trying to explain yourself to people because there's no explanation needed. You are my friend. You are my grandson. Stop embarrassing yourself because you're embarrassing me, okay? You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. That is self-explanatory. Okay? End of conversation. I'm getting pissed off now. Stop explaining yourself to people.
Off. Not the Bengali body temper. Not
We'd also just
not the 5'5" rage quit.
We'd also just like to make a quick point that
Sister Aisha, could I get 10 roses because the whole panel got it, but except
arrested or something's happened to them. Because on that road is like 2 minutes from my house.
Can you drop the link and we'll have a look at the stats?
I swear we went through the stats last week or something.
We did.
Yeah. By the way, Babs, have you got them updated statistics that you said you was gonna drop?
So, am I audible? I've already dropped them on mine.
I can hear you.
On Emily.
Hello, Lena.
Okay, well, I'm just going to make this quick. I'm going to make this quick because this bitch called Kimmy, who is Riyadh Nata, he keeps playing a woman and everyone's taking his side when the fucking cunt is Riyadh. I commented on his channel saying, I'm talking about you again. He said, that looks like Kimmy, and then he's been using my pictures.
Lena, wait, man.
We know Kimmy, man. We know her personally.
I mean, Lena, I know you're hot and everything.
Why have you been horrible to another woman?
I'm just saying that we know Kimmy personally, man. She can't make them accusations against Kimmy. I know her.
Ken, no, you fucking don't. The guy Rabat, he has a phobia of pandas. Am I audible? He has a phobia of pandas. He's coming with his account Rabat because I was taunting him using a panda to rub my pussy. Now everyone can know what it's about. He hates sex. He's been traumatized by sex. He's been raped as a kid. He has a micro penis and he thinks that he's going to get one over me by doing sexual fucking stuff. How the fuck are you going to get stuff over me when I'm not the version, you fucking cunt? And are you doing that because you're projecting? You fucking cunt. Everyone knows you were fucking molested as a kid, you cunt. You piece of shit. Now everyone's going to know when you use that account. Everyone's going to know what that account is about now, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking dick was fat. Were you raped? No, you fucking don't. Come on, Kimmy. Kimmy's not him. Robert Dub and Kimmy is him, that fucking cunt. And you're all feeling sorry for it because you think it's a woman. Meanwhile, this fucking cunt is actually harassing a real woman. You fucking cunt.
You got it wrong there,
I'm
Lena.
talking to you. You fucking cunt.
That's really paranoia.
Everywhere. Everyone thinks you're a woman when you're a man who's fucking humiliating themselves.
No, don't be
I was
silly.
humiliating you, and now that action that I was doing to taunt you is embedded in your fucking brain, you fucking cunt. You cocksucker, you worthless fucking cunt. Everyone knows you were raped as a little boy.
Lena, calm down.
Oh, yeah, calm down, love, man.
We know Kimmy personally, man.
I find a sound and I find a background and I upload it. It's only 60 seconds, but
This is the guy that calls himself the Starfeed.
Do you condemn Tommy Robinson?
Are you talking to me now?
Yeah, I'm asking you a direct question.
Right,
You
a direct
condemn
question.
racist Tommy
Before I go, right, I'm not a racist, and he's got his point of view, and whoever believes it, they believe it. But I don't
You
follow.
condemn him. You
No, but
condemn
I don't follow fashion. Get it?
No, but you can
I've got
condemn a
my own beliefs
racist.
because of my starseed.
You can
So-
condemn a racist.
No, I never said you was.
I said Tommy is a racist.
No, I never said he was either. I'm
No,
not
but I
saying
did.
anyone's a racist, yeah? Get it?
I did. If he's calling people the P word, then he's
Right.
racist.
Look,
Get it?
That means that Khan
I've
is
never
a
heard you say that.
racist.
Alright.
He told us that he
Well,
went to a police station and handed himself in.
Yeah.
There we go.
And said,
There we go.
I think
There we
I've
go.
just committed statutory rape.
Okay. Boy. If you're really that clever, how can you believe something like that? Did you
That's
say it?
what you told
You
everyone.
said it.
I didn't
Not
say it.
anybody else.
Who did I say this to, Wendy?
You
Oh
said
my
it to
God,
me.
are you for real?
You said it to about 12 people on the panel.
Are you willing to testify to that in open court?
Yes,
With
you're willing
evidence?
to testify
Yeah.
in open
Yeah.
court. Yes.
Okay, great.
But everybody's got the recording, Sean.
Was that on what? Can I see it? Because I've not seen this.
yeah, was
You
it clipped?
couldn't lie.
I'm just
Yeah,
asking,
yeah.
was it clipped?
You always
That's
see
what
it.
Yeah.
Was it clipped? Was it recorded?
See it.
I'd
He
like
then
to see it.
told everyone how he hit his mother because she wouldn't lend him 20
No, I'd like to see
Wait,
the clip.
no.
If anyone got
Wendy, where are you getting this from? I hit my mother.
Yeah.
And where's your evidence of this? Because I've never hit my mother.
This sounds like a gamer.
You gave the link.
Have you heard of gamer?
Fucking Russell.
Yeah, they play video games.
You shared it with everyone.
Yeah, there you go. It just sounds like a gamer situation. You know what I mean? People
You
say
like
that
You'd be right there.
What, he likes the game and he went
Right
crazy?
there. Yeah.
yeah, but no one's showed any proof about it, but they say it like what they say about me.
We've seen the proof, we just didn't bother to fucking record it. It's sure
didn't
knows
bother.
the truth.
Oh,
Say
bother.
conveniently, but they want to use it as an argument. Okay.
Oh, I wonder why.
Oh, and then you reckoned you were sexually abused, didn't you?
Well, that was a low blow, that Wendy.
Why? It's
Because
no
I was
lower than what
molested
you
as a
said
child.
about
Again,
those
people
little girls
speaking out
in
of context
Southport, you
and
little bastard.
have the
How
kind of
dare you bring
different
up
things
the
being
mama
wrong.
and being
Yeah,
molested
So
as
they
a
go
child?
from one
I
subject to
When
another.
you said what you said the other night,
That's why this particular video I found strange. That's why I clicked
All
this one.
gloves are off, even picking at people for being sexually assaulted as a child. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
support sexual
What
abuse
you
of
said
children.
about
Well, I've been bad cough the last few days. A bit more brandy in the moment.
Time of life, love of life. The movie space with minimal waste and maximum joy.
City lights, a business nights, when you require streetcar desire for higher heights. No
Place for beginners or sensitive hearts.
when
Sentiment is left to chance.
no place to be ending, but somewhere to start. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Maine.
Across the Gulf and south to Hidalgo, love and sail. Face to face, each classic pace. Be shallow, but I double cross, get deep.
License to love, insurance to roam. Measure your memories and change it to gold.
His eyes are like angels, his heart is cold.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, westward bound. Across the
North and south to Key Largo, lovers say.
smooth operator.
Smooth
if I do. Damned if I do. I gotta get up back home. You got a man, what you want? What you want? These bitches want from a nigga. What's your DMX shit? I know them other niggas love tricking. What's your BMX shit? You would not be. Now I'm sure you done heard about me. Black Star, most deaf quality. Good so them bad hoes try me. They try me. This is Martin Luther King in the club. Getting dubs. With a bad bitch in his hand and she down for whatever. Back up his mind is Coretta. And she knows. You know, and I know she knows, and I know she knows, and deep down she knows, she knows, and I know she knows, and I know she knows. Alright, alright, alright. Tell me what you want me to do. Alright. What you want from me, alright. Damned if I don't. Damned if I don't. I'm passing up on bad hoes. Trying to be the man that she want. What she want. What she want from a nigga. Put a ring on it. Got a bitch on my dick right now. She just wanna sing on it. Got me up so high. Trying to get a piece of that apple pie. I be up so high. Trying to get a piece of that apple pie. Dance on fire, my pants on fire, cause I told her I was sleeping inside with this pretty young thing that I told her she could be doing the same thing, I suppose she knows. She knows. You know. And I know she knows. No. And I know she knows. And deep down she knows. And I know she knows. No. And I know she knows. And I know she knows. Alright. Alright. Tell me what for me, alright. Alright. Tell me what you want from me, alright. Turn up, turn up. Only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Niggas say turn up, hoes say turn up. Only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to that fire. Michael Jackson, I see you. Jesus is all I die. Got me up so high. Trying to get a piece of that apple pie. I be up so high, trying to get a piece of that apple pie. Got me up so high, trying to get a piece of that apple pie. I be up so high, trying to get a piece of that apple pie. Alright, alright, alright. What you got me, alright. Alright, alright. Tell me what you want from me, alright.
Hi Lee, hi there mate. Hi Rubber, hope you're doing good. I'm a little bit drunk. A little bit of wine is good for you, as they say, for iron and cutting cholesterol. First time being drunk in ages. Hope everyone's doing good. Big up then, as always, Lena, Rubber. Right guys, my little cat just made a fuss of me. He's the best who tries to harm me because the Sultan says he's using a sexy group that could tell you everything about the scumbag. Oh right, I have to look into that, Lena, because I, like we all do, only catch kind of bits and pieces of different live streams and obviously pre-recorded videos, and when there's like a lot of people on a panel and what I call 50 things syndrome, when there's a lot of people talking about a lot of things, a lot of allegations against each other, etc., etc., and it's hard to keep up with it, you know, always. And since I've been heavily medicated from the doctor, it's hard to you know, I've been a bit more spaced out a little bit, so I've been get my medication changed, and I only drink socially on the often because you know I'm quite a healthy person in a lot of ways, quite clean living in my diet, and I buy a lot of organic food, a lot of organic, you know, everything organic as much as possible. But when you're stressed and everything, and you know, what do you take meds for? Depression and anxiety, Lena, social phobia and PTSD from my childhood. Because, well, not just myself, but I don't mind disclosing this because I'm an open book. I'm what you see with me is what you get. I'm a Gemini. I can be detached, but I also got a different side to me because we're duality. We're a changeable sign. That's all right, Lena. And I say a little bit about my brain, like not just myself. I did, you know, it was bad for all of us. I was just raised by my mum, and all my life it's just mainly been myself, my younger brother, and my mum. Apart from my late nan and my uncle that were really good, you know, and a lot of the best people, friends of immediate family, are all gone now. So it's basically just a few of us and my cat. And in the past, long story short, because I've continued to have like corruption from social services, police and council, virtually every day at one point we had bricks for a window because we lived in a council state, because me and my mum bring up 2 children, me and my brother, single-handedly, apart from just help from my lovely uncle live with my nan and a few friends. Sorry to hear that, ostrich. Oh, thanks, Lena. It's okay. It sounds detached, but I think what you haven't had, you don't miss in life. And it affected me socially. I couldn't make friends or anything, and now I'm still get very, very withdrawn. And my only kind of poison, I mean, I gave up alcohol completely for a long time, and I won't say here publicly, only to people privately, apart from people that I've told, but I had a very bad bereavement. That's all I'd say, you know, about coming up for 11 months now. And I haven't used therapists up to now. I don't really believe that they work. I don't know about yourself, my friend Lena. I have had counselling in the past and seen a psychiatrist, and they haven't deemed me anything bad. They're actually undecided. I'm still up to now. I haven't got a diagnosis for bipolar. I have OCD, and that's like washing my hands and with a hygiene thing and recounting money. Like every time I go out, I have to check my door at least 12 times. I don't know why it has to be that amount, but without going too deep, just skimming the surface, I have to check my lock 12 times, and some other things that I'm quite particular about, and some things I'm laid back about. But I'll give you just a few things that happened in my past. Like, we were getting bricks for a window every day from neighbours, the council and the police, because they're just corrupt and inefficient. My mum made complaints about them when we were obviously growing up at one estate, and we lived at one other estate. And the last 20 years since we moved here, we haven't had too much of it, although we had a bit 2 or 3 years ago with a couple of horrible, I think their drug is a couple of women and one woman's boyfriend that threatened my mother and me and my brother, and me and my brother chased him off. I'm not a violent person. I'm quite solid kind of person that most people could beat me up physically. But if somebody obviously goes for your loved ones, you become more, they say that the softest people are the ones with the worst temper, and yeah, what horrible classist people, absolutely. And I saw rage then. I mean, I have actually hit blokes that are probably a lot bigger and stronger than me, because I'm humble, like, in that way. The only thing that I have got confidence about is in my intelligence and my morals. And that being big-headed, I don't feel that I can lose an argument easily to any human being on this planet, unless I am actually in the wrong. It sounds narcissistic, but even if I have got undiagnosed narcissism, it's probably because of my mental health problems I have got. And you know, I have felt in a very bad way, you know, lots of times in the past. But basically, I've received a lot of corruption from people, especially the council and police, and my mum, my brother have had a lot of it, and where they've lied and exaggerated just because we can make complaints about them. And some people have played on the fact of our mental health, because my mum and brother have suffered from mental health for a long time. And all three of us, we just only had each other, and we've, you know, we've been lied about. But it's not totally surprising. I mean, we haven't complete monopoly there. I say we haven't, if that makes sense. Because in a nutshell, without analysing everything, obviously I'm going to be biased to my own brother and mum and myself, because we're all naturally selfish to those our loved ones. That's just human nature. Some things are part and parcel of life. But we, you know, just to the extent of it, not just what we've had to put up with, but to the extent of it. And then what's kind of compelled it is some people have kind of put pressure and sort of said, oh, I mean, I'm 44 now, but even when I was in my 30s, I still, even if I had a drink, I couldn't really always speak to people, or I'll speak to them, and then I would suddenly get paranoid of people. And people would often, even without asking for their opinion, they'd often say, well, why are you living with your mum at your age? And in some other cultures and other religions to mine, some people do that. In Islam, it's not unheard of. Even people that have a wife or a girlfriend or a husband or you know, a boyfriend to live with their parents because it's more economical. I mean, we live in an age of austerity. I mean, you think that Britain, where I'm from, Lena, I know you're from Australia, but we've been going back to like Victorian times. I mean, the austerity here, whether you're left or right, austerity is a failure. I mean, I'm not overly left wing. I kind of go from the left and right myself. I'm balanced about immigration in a nutshell, just for practical reasons of finances. In a nutshell, I think the world's your oyster, because the fact that whatever religion anyone is, there's nothing in any religion or ideology, what anyone wants to call it, to anyone else's religion that said that God said that France is for the French, Britain's for the Britain. And I hate all the division on YouTube. And if I had an immigration policy, if I was Prime Minister, Lena, I would have an equal amount of people from every country in the world. I mean, there's not many Japanese people in Britain. So when people say, oh, Britain's got a lot of immigration, it hasn't. I mean, I'm not the most educated people about immigration, not because I'm an uneducated or unintelligent guy, without blowing smoke up myself. But speaking from the heart and experiences, I know that Germany and France, for a start, still has more immigrants than us, but because of security, because other people blame all Muslims for all being, you know, all being a danger when they're not, just to avoid that situation, I'm taking the devil's advocate out there. In the past, in a nutshell, I thought there should be unlimited immigration in every country. The way I would do it, if I was Prime Minister, is if other country allowed my people to live in their country, right, fair and square by what the other country does. Not that they would, but if every British indigenous white person say wanted to go to France now, right, just for whatever reason, just love France, just that's the why reason wanted to immigrate there, and they said no, we're not going to have any British immigrants whether they're indigenous or not, then I'll say, okay, maybe I shouldn't take on your people, only because out of fairness, right, because I'm racist by my body, my family, a number of them are married to people of all different ethnicities, but it's a very cosmopolitan family. And, you know, I've even dated a Portuguese woman before, you know, not that anyone's implied that I'm racist or my mum or my brother. But, you know, because I'm quite an analytical person and I do get paranoid at times, I naturally feel that I have to emphasise some things, I guess, like we all do. And even if, like, without going off the point, because I'm a Gemini, and I only believe in certain characteristics because my faith, like most faith, doesn't, unless it's like some of the Asian religions, it virtually says it's demonic for anyone, if not to believe in astrology, but to quote it. And I think you can have both, because planets themselves are not evil, because whatever God anyone believes in, anyone's religious, unless they're agnostic, whether they're unsure whether any God exists, or an atheist, right? planets exist. So if God put planets on, to me, it's just a science. I think that anybody of any religion, in a nutshell, from my knowledge of my own faith, it's not demonic, even if you probably practice it, but certainly if you believe in it, because to me, like most characteristics of people in my life, just going through experiences, not from what I read, like their birth signs, not all of them, but certain characteristics, at least 50% of their characteristics are accurate. And I'm a Gemini and I'm highly strung. I'm quite versatile. I can have a low boredom threshold, but I can't stick on one subject, as you probably witnessed, in this live alone. When I'm not socially inept, and I am cruel with myself sometimes. And in one way, I can be like a typical man, just any man there, wrongly. And it's not women that criticise men off. In fact, it's other men that like slag off the men off, as I'm sure you'd agree, Lena, like most people would. And the same is like if women have like certain things that would be deemed a male characteristic or things that would have been frowned upon at one time, they should be. But for example, before women started playing like men's sports like football and rugby, sexist people would say, that they shouldn't be entitled to do that, which is wrong, that goes without saying. And to me, I'm just my own person, like I'm a Christian. I don't know whether I'm a Catholic, Protestant or Orthodox, right? No, you don't come across that way either. Don't worry. Oh, thanks, Lena. That's very sweet of you, my friend. And I just get like, I'll make sure I haven't missed any of your comments, my friend, so you don't think that I'm being impolite or selfish, self-absorbed or anything, because, it's really kind of you. I think this is the first live, well, I know you have commented in my live stream since I modded you up, but this is like the first, proper live stream, I think, that I've chatted to you on, apart from on Ghost Channel, and which obviously I'm not a mod over there, he's not a mod of mine, because I'm so about the guy in a nutshell, because a person that I think the world of on YouTube, he's went in on, that's all I will say. I don't want to divulge that person's details, but if it wasn't for him and some of his friends, the one they got onto this lady, I wouldn't have a problem with him really that much. But I know you've, I know you sent me a nice message on one of my premieres that time when I had really bad chest infection. Luckily, my physical health is getting better. As far as my legal situation goes, with the council that have been trying to set me up, I could be coming into some compensation in a while. In a nutshell, I just looked on a TikTok post about no win, no fee thing, right? And I just put my email address on there, my phone number, and I thought, well, if the odds are good, because I'm apathy with my depression, I thought, well, if I got to fill in a lengthy form, I won't bother, finding out about this. I'll just try it in future, see if I can get compensation for the dampness and condensation in my flat. And I got a call about a fortnight ago saying, first of all, all I have to do basically legally is about things that haven't been done in your house, flat. And I explained to the guy on the phone, then he put me through to a lady who was just a legal secretary at this company, something called FDM they're called, basically. And the lady who is a solicitor, the actual solicitor there, not just legal secretary, said that I'll probably looking at least only about a minimum £700-800 compensation, because 25% has to go for legal fees. Obviously, you don't win, being that I'm not working, I'm only on benefits, I wouldn't be eligible to pay a penny, right? If I don't win, but I could win anything up to about 1,000 to about, in the very extreme case, if I could prove beyond all reasonable doubt that it's affecting my mental and physical health, because the place has been scrubbed top to bottom. I qualified by law to have a deep clean in my property. I've cleaned it a lot, and the damp and condensation hasn't gone away. And I'm an asthmatic. That's one of the physical things that I've had since 2011. I was diagnosed with that. I've had high blood pressure since I was 19, and I'm 44 now, which I was 24. And basically, I could be owed anything up to about, realistically, if I'm lucky, about 5,000, which if I get anything, it'll be some justice for the way that I've been treated, because I've been threatened with eviction the last few months and other things. Even because I've questioned what the council, the way they got on, even to my late grandmother and my uncle, because basically they were getting harassed, getting thugs, threatening them. The council and police did little to nothing about the hooligans. My nan was 84 when she died, and my uncle was 65, who lived with her. And they had the cheek to imply that my grandmother and uncle were a threat to people. I mean, you could make this up. An 84-year-old woman, just before she died, would be a threat. So, like, without being, I don't want to sound like I'm self-indulgent, my dear friend Lena, but there's been so much. It'd be hard. I wouldn't, just to skim the surface, it would be difficult. And I just hope my friend, you and everyone else that's listening, haven't had to put up with this, but anything you have had to put up with online or offline, then I know what it's like, because it's the way that the lack of conscience that people have. And in my life, I've always known that I would amount to anything, and it doesn't matter how good or intelligent somebody is. I've managed to develop my confidence somewhat with affirmations and trying to be balanced in my own personal opinions, because to me, like, anything that my faith doesn't dictate to me, like, for example, like in most religions, I'm a vegetarian, and it's optional to be a vegetarian or vegan. It's not a sin. It is a sin to not be a vegetarian or vegan. Some Asian religions, obviously, like I think Buddhism, or at least in some other, like Hare Krishnas in Jain Buddhism, I think you have to be at least a vegetarian in that. I do it for the moral and health point of view. You know, I just made that decision when I was a child. My mum or nobody else forced that upon me. And I don't hate other people, obviously, because I wouldn't have friends, because most of the population eat meat. So obviously, you know, that doesn't affect my how I look at people, because the only way that I couldn't maybe be, if I'd wrestle with my conscience, is if, like, a friend or a girlfriend or a wife of mine killed an animal, then I couldn't forgive them unless they stopped doing that. But I always try to think to myself that if you can change some people's hearts and minds, then you always should do, because life's not always black and white. Like, some things I'm very black and white about, like some things are cast in stone to me, nothing to do with my faith or anything else, just my own individual personality. And there's some things that, like immigration, which I'm balanced about, like, if people should be cussed out or not, you know, depending on how much of a conscience they got and things like that. And you know, but at the same time, I don't analyse things in the way that I used to. I mean, I can be indecisive, or, you know, but things I'm consistent about. But whereas before I would kind of like have to analyse everything, whereas now I don't. Yeah, I believe delved into astrology. Almost wanted to. Oh, sure. Sorry, Lena, that I'm not ignoring your previous comments. If you're still there, yeah, feel free to talk about this, because like astrology is something that I'm interested in, and even other subjects that I'm like not interested in. Like, I mean I don't study that much anymore, but that I used to study a lot. You know, in the past I've done things that would be considered demonic, not intentionally, obviously, before I knew that my faith, like most faiths, say it's not allowed. Like, for example, white magic, thinking that, well, why would God be against me trying to create, because it's acting like God, obviously, they say, to anyone's got a faith. And this is some Asian religions that allow people to do white magic, I think possibly even in Hinduism. But anyway, I digress, to strike the right balance, to go into details and facts. And when it comes to like white magic, I've practiced that before, where I've done like spells to make money, to heal people. And then when my faith said I could go to hell for doing that, I obviously stopped doing it, because I naturally, because my mum didn't impose any faith on me. You know, she's been a Christian most of her life, but at one point before she definitely decided Christianity, she's like me. She had time for some of the Asian religions, like Buddhism, from the point of view of the peace side of it, and because of the animal rights side. And even though I think in all Buddhism you could eat meat, even, I think it's only in Jain Buddhism that you can't, you have to be vegetarian at least, or a vegan. And because to me, it's a mental illness eating meat, because how can anything that's pure, without having much medical knowledge, anything that's died, stating the obvious, but without sugarcoating it, is a dead flesh. It can't be pure. And to me, when I was about 5 or 6, I said to Mum, in a nutshell, right, can I become vegetarian? Because I found out that meat, I actually literally thought, not because I was a bit like simple, very stupid, but naturally when you're about 5 or 6 years of age, you haven't got much intelligence compared to an adult, have you? Even the most intelligent kids that would be more sharper than me. And I said to Mum, I thought that was out of an animal's body that already died. I didn't think they were killed for that. And I said, without preaching, I said to Mum, I don't want to eat meat. Is it all right with you? And she said, well, I don't eat much meat. And then since I became vegetarian, my mum and my brother did. And again, I didn't look at other people sideways that didn't eat it. I would try to persuade them, I'll be honest. But yeah, I digress. Sorry, Lena, if you're still there, I'll just get to your other comments before I speak anymore. Yeah, I believe in it too. I delved deep into astrology. I almost wanted to run a business on until recently. No, you don't come across that way either. Don't worry. Oh, thanks for the reassurance, my friend. It's always the ones that have nothing good going for them that have the most hateful things to say about others. Yeah, I often find that, Lena. Absolutely, Lena. It's the people that don't think, because it doesn't matter in life, like how much we know in life and how much we're correct morally or logically. The people that will criticise the most are the ones that know nothing. They're often the ones that are jealous. I mean, not just obviously me, because I'm very self-deprecating. But like I almost cringe if like a stranger even just gives me the slightest compliment. And people have also mentioned about higher self, that I should delve into that to defeat bullies, to be arrogant, even a little bit more than I should, to compensate for my lack of confidence. And I looked at that once because a friend of mine I haven't just spoken to in years, I just lost contact because she wasn't a very nice person, but she started off genuinely just a friend of mine, a lady from Barbados, very intelligent lady who was vegan. And she talked about the higher self. And then I thought, after somebody said, well, a lot of faiths wouldn't allow that, because it's like when we say about the higher self, it's like us comparing ourselves to God. And I thought, okay, I won't do that, because even if I wasn't sent to hell for that, the fear of that, just psychologically, it frightened me. So I thought I'd do things that were neutral, because obviously something's neutral to your faith, even if it's not like a virtue, then obviously you can do it. So within reason, everybody can be a vegetarian, everybody can be a vegan on the planet, unless they follow one of those an Asian faith, and so on and so forth. But like a lot of people on YouTube, and not everyone in our community, not by any stretch of imagination, but there's still a lot of people, obviously like the gummies and people like that. I know some people like her that I think the world of, but I know like a lot of us are like yourself, Lena, and then you've got no time for like the likes of Gummy. And she's not what I call just a divisionist, but she never tries to find common ground. And I'm a person that will always try to find common ground of things that I'm able to compromise my view on, things that are not to do, obviously anything that's not in my faith, then obviously you can compromise on, can't you? And in a nutshell, and I always try and understand why the people disagree with me, if they disagree with me on something that's very fundamental, even if I don't agree with it. And Den, like yourself, I've always found him a sound person, straightforward. And even if I didn't agree with what anyone says, including yourself or Den, I would never find, not that there's anything certainly recently or nothing fundamental that I've disagreed on. Not that I'm that invested in everything, in a nutshell, what goes on YouTube, But what I will say also is that, if you get on with somebody, it doesn't make somebody wishy-washy. Like, for example, as long as you try to see their point of view and you're always trying to get the best result for everybody and trying to have common ground. And in the past, I could be a bit of a people pleaser, because us Geminis, we always try to look at both sides of any opposing doctrine and try and bring them together, because we can be inconsistent just in our personality, even if it goes against our faith even. And I'm like that. I've changed my mind a lot, but then as I got older, like, because even the most cleverest of people, they're a lot more clever than maybe any of us, right? I've only changed my mind for good reason. Like, as I get older, you get more mature. And when I was younger, I would change my mind a lot, and I still do now about some things. Obviously, things that are not fun, that are important to any of us, but like our relationships or friendships, not things that are like our that you're expected to be consistent about. And all I've seen on YouTube, and Den made that point a lot, is with certain people. Well, I don't mind saying her name because I can't stand her, and I know you and Den can't for a start. And people like Gummy, and I'm not telling like any other friends that they can't speak to them, or I won't be friends with them, because some people, bless them, haven't done the same to me. And if they did, then being balanced, being assertive, and more respect for myself, I would naturally feel, well, I should do the same way back. But because they haven't, that's why I've done that to them. But I'm not. I wouldn't say that you were wrong or anyone else, Lena or Den. How you go on, because like, even when we don't always get it right in life, we can only do what we feel's right to us. And I think the good side. I've seen I've seen the people that have tried to find a middle ground that have done. Like, I've seen that Triller. I don't know whether I know Den. From what I last saw, doesn't mind Triller. He's got some respect for him. And at first, I must admit, I was skeptical somewhat of Triller, but then I genuinely think that he's changed his mind, that or even the things that he's wrong about, in my view, or could be wrong about, until I obviously find out more of what his views are, without using it as a elegant excuse to be all things to all men and all women, to kind of please everybody, because I'm far from that, and people know me. I'm my own man army, but I will basically look at every argument, even if it's something that I know I'll never change my mind on, because to me, I'm always intrigued by why people have the views that they do. And another thing, I'm also intrigued by why I have opinions that I do, because to me, your views, even people on this planet, whatever their views are, even when they're in the wrong, just their whole character, nothing to do with their religion or their politics, just people that have bad characters. To me, even if someone's a terrorist or whatever they are, they're not completely evil. And I'll say this like this now. Nothing to do with anyone's got a faith or not. Anybody with relatively average or above intelligence, or that's educated, always makes the point we're not born evil. So something obviously makes anybody evil that's turned out evil. So automatically, by default, even if they're like Ted Bundy, the equivalent of, or Adolf Hitler, they can't be 100% evil when it comes to it, because something made them evil in the first place, even if they chose to afterward to stay evil, unless they have a mental illness which deems them insane. And even insanity, if someone's got some awareness of what they're doing, they're still gonna, in some cases, it could be where psychiatrists different. To me, it's another point, without me sounding narcissistic, for a long time, I've made up my mind that psychiatry is opinion, most of it, and there's that being like a discussion or argument with people for another day, because it's also about mind control. And we'll give like some hints on it. As far as I know, psychiatry was created by the Illuminati, as other people know the New World Order, which is Lucifer, the devil, but in obviously government and so forth that want to take over the world, basically want a one world army, a one world government logic. So everybody has got to come together. Whoever we all, unless anyone out there that's evil, even some people that are maybe part of the New World Order, that are the devil worshippers, but the Freemasons and all the rest of it, they're all the same thing, a Satanist. And it's such a deep rabbit hole that to go down it will give you goosebumps at night. Well, and it's just really terrifying. I mean, there's some things that I wouldn't repeat, and I'm not a person who's famous, obviously, never have been, because regular people have lost their life to speaking out too much. And I don't mind saying some things, have the courage to, in a nutshell, but I believe that Princess Diana was murdered by the British royal family, possibly the French government intelligence, but certainly, if not the Queen, but Prince Philip or somebody in the British establishment in the MI6 or MI5. And not just as David Icke has said that, and he's had threats to his life, same as Alex Jones. And whether people think he's far-fetched, his heart's in a good place, and I hope that he turns to God. But hopefully God will show him mercy, because the fact that he's at least against the New World Order. You know, even though he's probably always been an atheist or an agnostic in his life, David Icke has got a good heart on him, and to me, he's almost like a dad figure that I never had in my life. And I'd be quite proud to say that somebody like David Icke, because there's only a few people that I look up to in this life, because I always want to try and help the underdog. And I've never, for a long time, been able to come out of my comfort shell and even speak about what I have tonight. I'm sorry, but this is about the most raw that anyone will get from me. Just by people being here, you know, it's very kind. Usually, I'm a lot more restrained than this, but that's the thing with alcohol. It helps to loosen the tongue. My bully is a gay, autistic, the socially awkward, and these YouTube streets. Yeah, he's mentally ill, delusional, and very unattractive. I will see. Are you still putting up with this now, Lena? Sorry, getting your comments too late. If you're still there, I'll still chat with you. If not, I'll end this stream in a while and then do another one at another point. I know there's some very horrible people out there. Just don't give your energy away. I mean, obviously you've got us to worry about something, and especially if it's something that you, at the worst, don't making you feel paranoid, my friend, that you would feel that it would be necessary to report to any of the authorities. But make sure that you block that person, obviously. This you obviously have done already. And, you know, make sure that you collect screenshots and recordings and everything. But, yeah, there is another reason why I pulled my heart out also tonight, because one person I can't, or I would say at this moment in time, out of respect to them and myself, that a person that I haven't got the courage to completely say my reasons. I don't even know myself, but a person that I suppose I've kind of attached to, put it that way. And as life is, we don't always know what the things are, why that we haven't some time ago, we have now. And to me, you know, even if you, as long as you're honest in life, was honesty is the most important thing. But even if you do something in a feeble way, even if your voice shakes, providing that you are strong enough where everything you say is correct, it's 100% honest. That to me is most important. And even it may not be to everybody, because some people are only bothered about the styles of everything. They're not bothered about the substance. And yeah, substance is nice in just normal situations with people's characters, because some people we vibe with, some people we just don't. And there's some people that are in the middle and that you could like a bit more if it's like 10 years time from now or 10 minutes from now. But to me, It's just an energy, like a vibe you just pick up from some people. And there's some people that before I met them, not because I'm psychic, but I believe that I got the abilities to be, if I obviously chose to delve into that. And there's people I've met before, and something is telling me just to be careful. Just not necessarily don't tell me anything, but where they lie or set me up or whatever. But they basically are just a bad person, that are energy vampires. And there's some people the opposite, that I'm just drawn to that person. I don't know what it is. It's, you could say it's weird, but it's, I don't know, it's just, you can't put your finger on it. You know, there's just, it's some people's manner. There's some things you like about we all like about some people, and there's some things that we all dislike about some people. And I suppose if the things that like resonate in our heart, the things that do the most, even if we're 50-50 about a person, we may still think, if that's just by evidence and our instincts and our heart says to us after a while, that person's even just about a good person, then going by that kind of feeling, then I have often been right more than I haven't. But there are some people that I have miscalculated, and they turned out to be two-faced or whatever, and to me or my family or to friends, you know, and that's the thing, you know. And as human beings, we're all energy, because of all faiths say that, not only physically and mentally that's proved, but we're all electrical, because the reason that we are alive, our blood and everything literally pumps through our every part of our body. We are electrical beings, even though we don't generate electricity in the way that like some sea creatures do. I don't know what the animals are now, but that actually, you can actually see the electricity coming off them, emanating from their body. But we're all electrical beings. We're all made up of energy, and you can sometimes sense people saying, it's like you go into a room, and even if it's not directed towards you, everyone could be all treating you like favourably, even above other people for the sake of it. People you haven't met before, but you can walk into a pub or a restaurant or anywhere, or just a building, and everyone could be nice to you, but you could pick up on someone else's anxiety, where people are hostile to maybe that particular person, rightly or wrongly, unknowingly. But you can feel that aura, and I know a person like that's intuitive. Like sometimes I will almost get psychic ability, where something will tell me not to do something at a certain time, or to do something at a certain time, and I will often be more right than I'm wrong. Something will tell me not to text somebody at a time, because even someone that I've perhaps been friends with online for years, either it's on, you know, or months on and off, that there'd be even something that'd be sorted out after, but just to avoid the unpleasantness, there'd be a misunderstanding. The way that I say I'll put my text across or whatever, I'm going to offend them, and then there'd be something else that will just do the opposite, I guess. And that's going to be the same for anybody who's got like intuition. And if everyone wanted predictions now, I do predict that things will be about the same on YouTube between groups. There'll be a kind of people flip-flopping. I can't even guarantee, to be honest with everybody, that I won't, right or wrongly, somewhat due to mental health, and also that's a very hard thing to say, but I know that there's some things that I will be strong about, even if I come out and afterwards and say to a friend of mine, look, you were wrong, even if I take your side above that person because I like you more. I know I've been two-faced and can prove that, but I think you're going a little bit over the top, you know, like this or that person's they're not as bad as all that, you know, they're even going too deep. And yeah, just check on my comments. He thinks he's safe because he has a refuge. Idiots who's on this level in terms of maturity, LOL, and he feels like a failure as he's not manages to get a normal woman to support him. Yeah, you could be onto something there, Lena. I'll just check all any other comments that I missed of yours or anyone else's. And feel free, anyone, to continue speaking here. So I'm very grateful. If anyone actually does want to come up actually in a while, I'll put the link out if anyone does want to, even though I didn't before, but it is what it is for whatever reason, you know. there's more you can learn about yourself outside of astrology. Oh, of course, Lena. Because as I say, I only you know, like, just read it as an interest really now more than anything. Because regardless of what I feel that I'm allowed to do or not, I just, you know, literally as an interest as well. But I don't believe that any necessary faith says that it's wrong, that it's not accurate, but they say that maybe, possibly, but without being thorough enough, that you shouldn't practice it because people are going to feel that they've got better knowledge than they have that's close to God. So, you know, because in a nutshell, also, I believe that Chinese astrology is more accurate. I'm the rooster because it's every 12 years. It goes by the year instead of the month. In Western astrology, I'm a Gemini, the twins, which we like change and versatility and adaptability, and we have a low boredom threshold. But when we do make our mind up, we're unmoving. But I have Taurus in me as a rising sign. A late friend of mine who passed away a long time ago did my chart with the Western astrology. So I've got Taurus in me, which is reliability. And I know some people don't like easy, but easy's Taurus. And I can see a lot of endurance and consistency with what he believes at, even things I don't agree with or 100% agree with, or not on the same page as him as. But he's very enduring. He will keep on, even, you know, if what he's saying is could be proven as factually wrong, not just opinion, he will keep on going. And that may offend some people, but I'm going to be honest from the heart. But that doesn't mean to say that there's obviously the same quality wouldn't apply to any other friend of mine that maybe can't stand easy, you know, because as long as you're not being two-faced in life and you say to people that I'm not going to take this person's that side, to, you know, you treat both friends equally that are enemies of each other, there's nothing wrong with that. But if other people don't choose to do that, they choose to say, right, if a friend of mine hates my other friend and I feel obliged even if it's that mental weakness, but I've got to choose one friend over the other, I don't condemn you for that, because to me, life is about learning. There's some things that are neither right or wrong. It's just down to the individual. Because unless your faith says to you, right, you've got to choose this person over that person, or it's not black and white. You know, things are black and white. Obviously, you know, you've got to do your best to adhere to that. But how you go about it, though, could be a different thing, because as the old saying goes, we catch more flies sometimes with honey than vinegar. Because if you say to somebody, well, you can get through to them, oh, you're basically fucked up, you know, you're wrong, and I'm going to keep on telling you that you're a piece of crap, basically, unless you change, you're only going to give them no incentive to want to be decent. But obviously, there's some people that take it that little bit further. But to me, I think, well, people can't help what they are. We're all going to be individuals, and we're all going to be naturally wrong at times, because that's just part and parcel of human nature. Like, I wouldn't expect somebody now to put me above a friend of theirs, that even if they like me, but they've only known me 5 minutes, I would think they are morally wrong for doing that. And the same as I wouldn't do the same the other way around, you know. That's something that most people would do. But to me, we live in a world where people being confused, where it's not their fault, because we're getting the hidden hand, the New World Order, and all these other kind of hidden hands that are trying to confuse us all. And even when we do all screw up at times, even though it sounds like absolute cop-out, but there are some things that are mitigating circumstances that are at least influencing us. But I always say, and without going back on what like Den said, you know, or if you can do, always try and unite on the things. And especially if you do like someone enough to say you love them as a human being, you know, if there's more you agree with them on than you don't, then always go for that, you know, because there's some things that we would never agree with each other on about, and it doesn't make us wrong or right for that, because it's automatic. It's like our preferences for food. Like, if you like tea and I hate tea for a start, it's not me choosing to be what's the word, contradict you. It's not me choosing to be you know, in opposition to you. It's just automatic. And that's the way that I view some things in life. And, you know, it's like some people resonate with you and some people don't, and some people, it can be over time. I'm every adept at profiling people and knowing things around them. More they know, and discovered that my abilities is low key, while magic a tactic. Got more comments. I don't mind Triller, to be honest. He's a nice person. Yeah, I got no problem. I was only so with him at first. That was just years ago. Not because any of his beliefs or opinions, you know, changed, or, you know, most of them appear to change or anything. Because I basically just didn't have much really dealings with him. You know, I just went on other channels just socially for a laugh and all that, more than anything. And then I saw a side to him that I didn't like, obviously the sexist side and even harmless but insecure side, you know, like these fantastical stories that are certainly more than appear to be, you know, like about the things just don't add up, about how much money him and his family are worth and things like that. And then basically after that, I just well, you know, judged him differently, you know. But again, you know, yeah, I got no problem with him. He's a person that I would certainly have a conversation with. He'd never drink with, you know. There's a lot of people that I'd like enough that I think that I would get on with enough. Even people that I haven't had much to do with. Again, you know, for no particular reason, people that I've genuinely, I don't know them. I'm not either than not that invested enough, or I just haven't had enough contact with. I don't mind Triller, to be honest. I read that one. Unlike the people I thought were my friends around here. I'm sorry to hear that. If you've had people that, Lena, that have betrayed you, that for no justified reason, that have obviously like gained your confidence, and you know, obviously don't feel, you know, you should say anymore, you know, obviously if it's something that's upsetting, obviously. What do you mean by terrorists aren't evil? Oh no, I mean obviously, you know, that anyone that does anything that evil is obviously evil if it's that bad, but they're not 100%, and only the reasons that are given in the way that, like, because they say we're not born evil, that everybody becomes evil afterwards, and then after that they choose to be, depending if they're sound mind or not. But to me, anybody that does anything that evil, doesn't matter who you are, you can't be 100%, even if you're like 99%. So obviously, therefore, people have a right to just wash their hands with you. But in some cases, whereas like most people would say, well, if somebody's evil and they're an adult and they're sound minds, they know what they're doing. But then if we're not born evil, it sounds a contradiction from my faith and just any indoctrination, that if somebody's not born evil, something makes them evil. Okay, people could choose to ignore that or fight it. But then if, as they still weren't born that way, nobody could probably, just going by logic, would completely have control over the devil or whatever, or bad influences from people that has controlled them. So it doesn't mean that they shouldn't be punished what they've done for a crime. I believe that there's still some people that are still more evil than others, even then. And after a while, there's some people, most people I do believe are 100% evil, if they continued, obviously, because again, that's just logic, isn't it? I don't need to be a genius to work out, you know, the maths there. That if somebody chooses afterwards and they know that something's made them evil, where it's in a quandary, and if they choose to be even 1% more evil, so they've got 51% knowledge of being evil and 49% mentally ill, well, okay, if they right, people throw the book at them, obviously, but you would still expect more mercy for them than somebody who's 100% evil. Again, but that goes without saying. But that's just me, like, being too overthinking. And I get to next comments, Lena. Yes, it is for the most part. Yeah, that's what we say, like the most part. Well, that's how it started out. Yeah. Court Jung was the father of it, and he was an occultist. I've heard of that name before, Cole Jung, Lena. I'll get to your comments now quickly. I'll just read them out briefly, and then I'll go into some detail after, if you're still here, my friend, just so that I don't hold you up in case, you need to go and that, because here it's very late. It's getting on for six in the morning. I'll just read your comments, my friend. So don't feel offended if I don't go into any details until I get to them all, because I'm way behind on that, I must admit. Oh my gee, Ostrich, you're speaking my language. Oh, that's interesting, my friend. Alex Jones is great. He is on a lot of things, David Icke. And there's not everything I agree with, as I'm sure there isn't yourself, with him. But a lot of things he's 100% about, until I can prove me otherwise. Just going by his gut feeling, he's correct, about assessing what the New World Order are trying to do to all of us, get us all against each other and everything. David Icke is awesome too. He's a very warm guy. I mean, I must admit, I don't dislike Alex Jones on a personal level, but David Icke, to me, he's a very humble, charismatic. He's got a good sense of humour. He's got just good balance to his character. He's the kind of person that I'd be proud to call my father, if he was my dad, and, a very popular guy. I mean, because of his person, when he was younger, again, that goes by the heart. Apparently, I don't know, and there's a reason why he shouldn't, good luck to him if he did. But apparently he did have a lot of women that liked him. And, he's an good looking guy for his age. And obviously I'm not, I don't obviously into men in that way, or anything. But, I would say that, from a fair point of view, that he's still quite, he's a kind looking man. He's got mellow looking eyes, and when he was young, pictures I've seen, he was very good looking. And but he's a good soul, and for about at least over 30 years, he's been speaking out against a lot of things, especially against paedophilia, social services, monarchies, and the New World Order in general. And as I say, even though some things are far-fetched and paranoia, I'm undecided now. At first, I said, people being reptilian shapeshifters, there's ain't got to be aliens or other things that exist, right? So I think most religions even indicate that aliens exist, but not like these reptiles that are part human and part alien. But I've got an open mind, seriously, whether I think there is such thing as reptilian shapeshifters, where human beings, like David Icke has made that point, and he said a long time ago the royal family could sue him. He said things that would cost some people their life, and that they're reptilian shapeshifters, that behind closed doors they will shapeshift into a different form. And even Princess Diana was apparently said she's too scared to say it publicly for obvious reasons, but that they're not human, they're lizard people. And I believe that they murdered her. I mean, I don't know I've seen the basic documentary, David Icke's, the main one that goes on for about less than an hour, and I've seen some other people's, and they said that they've actually been threatened, even, unlike David Icke, because they think that if they took him out, it would have too many unanswered questions. But I can't remember the name of the gentleman. I perhaps would be reluctant to say if I did, unless he's prepared to risk his life. But some kind of posh guy on a channel a few weeks ago, it went on for about an hour and a half or more, and he went into all the details of how intelligence works in the government, and how Mohammed Al-Fayed was responsible for Diana's safety and his son. Obviously, since late Princess Diana was romantically involved with Dodi. And the bridge, because I don't feel fear because I'm a regular person, so I'm sure the chances of me being murdered by the government are very unlikely. But if that's a chance I take, I'm brave enough to take it because of my state of mind at the moment. But there is Illuminati, there is satanic cults that go on under the bridge, under the rivers. I forgot the name of it, but in Paris, where Diana met her tragedy. And there's so many things that do not add up about that case. Apparently, a witness report his car was burnt out and himself. So many things, and that the driver, Diana would not let anyone drive her that was over the limit. You know, she wouldn't even take the chance if they were just literally over the limit, just literally. Or I don't think Dodie either, but you know, the late Lady Diana wouldn't take that chance. And there's so many things that do not add up about that. And as I say, you know, like, I don't feel that fear anymore because fear is our creation. I agree with David Icke. We can choose to fear or not to fear. And if for some of us it doesn't do us benefit or whatever, there's some things that I'm saying now that maybe won't enhance me. But, you know, if you don't speak out ever about anything in life, if you do what is easy, life will become hard. It just will. Even in the smallest things, really, if you keep just taking the easy option out. And I'm a coward at times, and I can confess to the fact that I've been a coward with one person. I won't go into details yet, but a person I have strong feelings for. But it's your intention, and I could prove beyond all reasonable doubt that I've said and done what I've done. And if that person chooses to think that's a load of baloney, then on them. You know, that's down to them. But again, you know, some things, it is what it is. David Icke is awesome too. Oh, dear Ostrich, I'll thank you, Lena. Thank you for being so understanding and tolerant, you know, because as I say, there's some things that you may disagree with me fundamentally about. But again, it's the same with anybody. You know, just speaking from the heart, you know, I don't judge anybody. You just is different to me, because if somebody pretended to agree with me because they were frightened of losing my friendship, I'll think that they're wrong that way. And to me, that like your opinions and like your personality, we only have so much limit, like control over them. Even things that we may be wrong about, even that we're not wrong about for certain. Because basically, it goes like, it's like our taste buds. You know, I know that's a very insignificant thing. But as people make the point, when it comes to like relationships, romantically, obviously with a man and a woman, that if someone has, for example, just use this analogy, right? If you have so many things that are so different to somebody else, that's trivial, but it's the extent of it, then naturally you're not going. It can make a difference between that person being your soulmate or a good friend. It wouldn't stop you being a good friend of theirs, even. But if that person, that could be something that person's still passionate about, that could be a hobby of theirs that they do all the time, you know, and it'd be something, that, you know, might be something you hate, but you think you're just bored with, you know, if it's something you don't do, you're not going to vibe with that person. And to me, even if someone doesn't agree with me, if they still understand, if they still respect my right to be me, whatever me is, as David Icke would always say, whatever I'm meant to be or haven't meant to be, that I always think to myself that, you know, whatever you say or do, there's always going to be somebody there that's going to twist things. There's going to be somebody there that's just that doesn't want to ever listen. It's just all about negativity, and it's not about just trying to do the best for everybody. You've been through a rough patch. It can get overwhelming, definitely. He's a very horrible person. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, he's a piece of shit with esteem and self-image issues, because if he had any esteem, had he been normal, so it's like self-rejection thing, I feel sorry for him, LOL. He's had low self-esteem. He's rather continue moving like a weasel to justify his battered manhood, to man up and admit he is a loser. And then you have effeminate friendly ghosts who are also intimidated and weak and rather pretend you're the problem because they know they aren't respected. I rare you, Ostrich, even though you got issues, you're still masculine and have integrity, which is amazing qualities. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I try my best. That's all I can do, like anyone. And I rate and I respect you. Oh, thank you so much. And likewise with yourself, you know, I was found you're a nice person that even with those that you like, you were still tell them straight. I mean, you haven't like pretended to agree with everything necessarily that I've said tonight, but you've done it with balance and you know, understanding. And again, you know, it doesn't have to take away anything of anyone's, you know, friendship with each other, you know, because we're all individuals, and it's only those that you know are all the reasons that are just horrible people, and you know, make out that it's for this or that reason. They don't even do that. They even double down and admit that they're a horrible troll and got nothing better to do. You could read your whole birth chart and still not know how to apply any of it in the real world. Oh, of course. It's only certain like certain characteristics I with every sign I've always believed in, but there's always like, not just because some people have different rising signs to others, like because in a Chinese astrology I'm the rooster, which is every 12 years because I'm 44. So obviously anything that's 12 years before or after me, obviously I assume that obviously would be the rooster. And it's, to me, it's more accurate than the Western thing, you know, of like Gemini. Although there's some things about Gemini that are the same with me, like being nervous, highly strung, independent thinkers, not in every way, but in their mind, because we're ruled by Mercury, which is like, it can be analysis, although Virgo is more analytical than we are. We're more balanced, but Gemini's, when we get our teeth into something, we don't let go. You know, I'm like that. I can, even to my detriment, I will analyse things, or if it's not to my I will just needlessly, pointlessly, I will have to analyse some things, and there's no going back. It's even weird, I suppose you could say. Oh, I've not delved into Chinese astrology. I haven't that much. Only with like my own one, the rooster, and some of my family members, like my brother, he's a tiger, and they're known to be like very courageous. My brother's a lot stronger person and in a lot of ways nicer person, without slagging myself off. He's a really gentle soul, but his temper is explosive. I mean, when I'm a person, you might just got this impression of me when you first come across me on the internet, on here obviously, Lena, because I haven't met you obviously anywhere else. And I've got a ferocious temper on me. I can have an absolute machine gun of a mouth. But these days I've mellowed even more. But the Gemini side of me, the twins, I'm more balanced than I used to be. But when I do get in a temper, I will absolutely go mental. And, you know, I'm not, you know, some of it is not always over the top. A lot of it, without sounding big-headed, I'm in the right about. But where it takes more to get in a temper than it did, say, even a few years ago. But when I do, it's like I'm like even a lunatic. You know, I will be abusive. I will swear at people. I will, oh yeah, quite easily. And even if I apologise after for going over the top slightly, I won't, because to me, the end justifies the means. You know, if I'm still mostly in the right, like anyone is, then that to me is enough to be 100% in the right. Because if they oppose that enemy or opponent of mine, their argument is very weak anyway, that they can't justify themselves, then I will not back down. You know, that's probably the Taurus in me, which is a fixed sign. They're like very consistent. But I don't know what rising sign I've got in the Chinese astrology. All I know is that I'm a rooster, 1981 my year, and I know Jeremy Corbyn's the ox, and they're said to be very consistent. I know he's in his 70s now, about 74 or 5, and their key word's reliability. And mine, I think, is like a variation, which some people could perceive, okay, it's been all over the place, inconsistent, disingenuous or whatever. But, you know, people know the evidence from themselves just by looking at it. So, you know, it's not for me or anyone else to, you know, take on other people or to say what is right or what is wrong. You know, they can judge themselves, you know. Yeah, that's true about bull signs. Yeah. Taurians are very, even that saying my rising sign in the Western astrology, I might have, because it goes by sun sign as well in astrology. I think I've got Sagittarius here. I've got no water in me. So Sagittarius is same as my brother's main birth sign. His rising sign is Libra, which is the scales. They're like a cardinal, so they're not ultra consistent, but they're not changeable either. So even though I'm a changeable sign Gemini, I've got a lot of consistency in me from the Taurus, my rising sign. But Sagittarius being a changeable sign and a fire sign as well, I've probably got more. I've got more flexibility in me, so I could be prone to be changed, even if I'm in the wrong, and hopefully at things I won't be in the wrong about. But that will probably be my personality. About more slightly, I will be open-minded to my beliefs and opinions more than I will be fixed. But the things that I've been fixed about, I always would be, if that makes. That's all you need to say to make sense. But my brother, he's a Sagittarius, and he's got Libra in him, which is an in-between sign, cardinal. One of my late uncles, he was a Capricorn, which is in between. They're not. Then you know how consistent they are. Their keyword is general success and being domesticated and being obsessed about money at times. But he had Aquarius in him, which is a fixed sign, even though it's an air sign. It's a fixed sign, unlike Gemini, which is me, which is changeable. I do like the changeable side in me, the fact that being flexible, and because there is such thing as being overly consistent, even in things that we don't need to be morally about, in our tactics and strategy, because I believe in being a bit all over the place, because if you don't incorporate all of those things, you won't know which one's better. If you've only just literally being changeable all the time, or consistent all the time, or moderate all the time, which could be perceived as being wishy-washy. I think the worst people are the Weasley types. I don't have anyone here other than the coward I mentioned. He's disgusting. I don't want to make it about his race, although sometimes it is a factor. I'll get to more your rest of your comments now, Lena. Yeah, that's true about ball signs. I think the worst people are the ones. I read that one. Next one, I only love men. Yeah, well, of course, if you're heterosexual lady, you're going to, yeah. And the same with me as women. Again, I'm not judging people unfairly. Obviously, my faith, I don't agree with the lifestyle, but as the saying goes, like not to hate the sinner, but the sin. I don't. Obviously. Got no problem. I mean, I've met gay men before, and lesbian women, and bisexual people, and they're lovely people. And as overall their character, they could be more holy even than other people, because it's your whole character. And people again can't help who they're attracted to, but only if they put it into practice. But then we all do things that we shouldn't do. So as none of us are perfect, we can't completely judge other people. Only within reason. Would rather lose a lover than love a loser. Yeah, I get that, Lena. Yeah, he flip-flops a lot and talks about his money too much. Oh, you probably mean like Triller, do you? Yeah. I bigged him up and lost a mate around here. I'm sorry to hear that. It's always horrible when you lose a friendship. Even if, you haven't known that person very long, it still hurts. Yeah, I know he was too weak to stand by me. It's all right. I've already had my 10 hours of sleep. Yeah, exactly. Don't find this weird, but now I think of if you do sort of have a physical resemblance to him. My dad let his mates, me. Oh, gosh. So sorry to hear that, Nathan. Again, be careful what you say about yourself. Don't divulge too much here or online. Lena says hi to you, Nathan. My mother beat me and hated me. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully you made peace with her since then, if she's still here. I will do. Yeah, I don't doubt that was all planned. I was forcibly already raped by nobodies. I've heard of that bridge in London. Punk coward who operates in groups with other pink coward that thinks his group are wretched laughing stocks. Yeah, of course. Dating game is hard nowadays. Astrology is super interesting, but Jungian astrology will give you a more practical way to look at yourself and others. Oh, thanks. I definitely consider that one, Leah. That's good. I don't mind aggression. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite a mellow person, you know, not ashamed to be as a guy, you know, even if I may be a little bit too mellow at times, but then the same as mentally, you know, if I had to be, just make this point to you, even no one else is here, but just speaking honestly to you, Lena, or anyone else who may be listening, you know, to me, you know, I've never been ashamed of that, and it's just to me part and parcel of someone's personality. You know, nothing else seems to analyse. I'm like that, you know. When it comes to, you know, aggression, you know, I definitely, you know, I mean, like in just a comical way, I laugh at myself, and you know, I'm very quick-tempered, and I won't budge down about something, and I'm proud of that. Even, you know, again, like anything within reason, and you know, I'm quite stubborn. You know, it's just like a lot of people being around me also have to shape me that way, because obviously those around us influence us. You know, even though, yeah, people can still do what they want to do, but you know, and you know, but I'm actually proud of that. And some things I haven't got opinion about either way, whether I should do or not. It's just part of being a human being and being ourselves. Because if we pretended to agree, even with our creators, about things that we're not at fault for, or only somewhat in control of, we would be a liar. And as it's a sin in all religions, as far as I know, to be a liar. If I said to God, now, look, I agree with you, my God, right or wrongly, but I'm not, you know, challenging you, that I'm not comparing myself to you or thinking I'm better than you, but I just disagree with you, going by my human side of me, because because as we have got all my knowledge, we can use that as a cop-out, right or wrongly. And speaking just bluntly, as just let it all flow out. If I said to God, I don't agree with you for sending evil people to hell because they should just be forgiven, just should be, because a loving God wouldn't send anyone to hell. It doesn't matter who they are, what they've done. If I pretended to agree with God, because he's got all no knowledge, he can read everyone's thoughts, right? He would know I was a liar, wouldn't he? So I'm in a no-win situation. So again, I would just literally say what I need to say and leave it at that. But when it comes to people that we can judge on the way that they treat us, you could only judge it really, you know, you judge it just by gut instinct after a while. And I know it's like if someone's ghosted you, if you've had that experience, Lena, because, you know, when they're a person who has a lot to say, they're a very loud person, whether they're male or female, regardless of what age they are, but they suddenly go from power to weakness in a sudden. And some of us, you know, we're more humble. We don't quite go from strength to weakness so quickly. And all I can say is that if that person feels that I've wronged them, or that I'm sending out subliminal attacks on them, then I ask them to question their self, because if they think that some things are rational, then unless they explain to me how they are or to what extent, then, you know, there's nothing else to say. It is what it is. And there's some things in life that we can only judge by your instinct, and that they are what they are. And, you know, there wasn't a side to it, and I'm not going to cause trouble for this person, but I believe that they have violated me in my mind, that they gave me an impression that a relationship was maybe a possibility, and that their excuses for not responding to me weren't adequate enough. If I'm wrong, but I'll just come out with it because I've gone on too long. And the fact that they have seem to have their head turned by another person who's younger than them. And again, you know, good luck to them, you know, if they bring out the best in them. But they wonder why I cannot confide in them. And, okay, being human, being my raw side, I am a bit jealous, and naturally so. Because this person's taken their heart. Just rather than put me up my misery. And just be honest. I know that she doesn't love me. And I don't think I could have been as honest as this. But with that, if it weren't for the alcohol. Oh, thanks, Taffy. I haven't seen you in a while. Perhaps one person didn't make me expect to come on the panel, but I had to wrestle with my honesty because, you know, when you're not honest enough, you know, when you just can't get it out, you just want to get it out, don't you? And even when we're in the wrong, the only way that we can move on is just by getting it out. I'm more broken than you, don't worry. Oh, bless you, Nathan. Better out than in. Very true, Taffy. Very, very true indeed. I prefer seeing someone let it all out than to battle it up and move passive aggressively like a weasel. I hate that shit. It comes across as broken, and I don't do well with that energy. Yeah. I know what you mean. It is very, you know, life is like that, and sometimes you just got to let go. I know, like, love has affected everybody's had that one person in their life who's, I was violated, bullied, and beaten all my life, have arrested development of it. Gosh. Do you find that, it's hard to put it across the right way, Nathan, but do you find that you have certain strategies that help? Tears for fears, shouts, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Yeah, I agree, Taffy. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. That sometimes you just gotta let it all out. My mother bashed me before school. Oh gosh, that's horrid. At the same time, like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to like diss your mum because she's still your mum, and even if, regardless of what rights, you know, you've got, you know, to feel about your mum, and depending if she's still here or not, you know, it's still, it just wouldn't be right for me to go in on your mum, but I understand how you feel, you know. I mean, I've never had that, you know. My mum's always been a lovely soul to me. In fact, too good at times. I meant that for my own good. She's, you know, she was, you know, she's always been a better person than I have. You know, she's too soft. She is, but I pretend she ain't. Yeah, that's human nature. You know, your mum's your mum. You know, you've only got one mum, and you know, you just, you know, it is a very difficult. It is, you know, very, very difficult, you know, to deal with. But you just got to do your best. You can only you know, say so much, you know. It's just, you know, too much, some things. Keep your chin up, lad. There's always someone worse out there. Oh, definitely. Thanks, Taffy. I appreciate you before, because despite like anything that we've had any differences with before or anything, you know, I always remember the time like a few years ago, like when you supported me, you know, you were very kind and, you know, honest, you know, very balanced and that. And I never forget anything that like anyone does that's good. And like, even if I've gone wrong or I've like taken sides, or I may even still do, and I can't guarantee I won't, just like anyone won't, just part of our personality. You know, I always thank people for what they have done. And I haven't forgotten the fact that, you know, you gave me a platform even just a few years ago, you know, when I was like back and two with a lot of people. And, you know, and again, you know, that speaks volumes in itself, that does. And the same with anyone else who's helped me a lot. I'm a ball with shame and dread. And so I don't know what that last word is, Nathan. Do you mean cowardry? I can't see the word there. But yeah, you're right, Taffy. It's always, especially when it comes to like anything of the heart, when it comes to like how we feel about someone that we love, you know, and that we care about. You know, you got to let it out, you know. And I thought to actually beat him, man. I was just caught in like I say in plain simple English, you know, because that's all it is. When the heart is like that, it's not like big fancy words. And I think, you know, like you sort of torn between a devil and deep blue sea, aren't you? Where you just don't know, right, what should I do? You just think, I just stop. I won't tell that person how I feel about them, or I'll just be honest about it and just get it out. And then whatever happens, happens as a result of that when it comes to like romance. And at first I felt, well, like just too embarrassed because of my social phobia and my mental health problems, because I shake on that, you know, doing my looks and everything. Even like tonight, I'm still shaking, even though I've had alcohol. And that's nobody like on YouTube's fault for that. Anyone I've had run-ins with in the past, that just, you know, that's just people in the real world, you know, that have caused that. And the thing is, like, Taff, as we've probably all been in that situation before, my friend, and to anyone else, that at first it was nagging away at me, and I thought, what, just get it out. I kept like just putting it off. I say like basic, simple English, right? You know, no big words. And then afterwards, something told me that if you don't ever take any risks in life, you don't get anywhere, because you always regret the things you don't do more than what you do. And I won't mention names for the respect out that person, but it is a lady on YouTube that I have fallen for. And whatever she decides, you know, for her reasons, it is, I respect, and I'll never not want to stop being friends with her, because, you know, because otherwise that would show that I was a shallow, selfish person if I didn't want any more to do with her, because she doesn't want to know me in a romantic light. But I'm still waiting basically to hear her answer, and I pulled my heart out, you know, a couple of days ago. And I don't know how or why even it came on so quickly, because at first I didn't have those feelings for her, and just little like compliments she gave me that boosted my self-esteem, you know, just gave me belief in myself. And I thought, well, she's choosing to do all that, and she knows other people, but she's maybe not. She may be giving other people compliments, but I've only seen the compliments she gave me, not other people, and not again in a big-headed way, because I'm the least person like that. I put myself down more than maybe should do, and I could just see like the little things, like I'm sure all of us have done through like any of our loves in our life when we've been younger, especially. And I thought, well, if I don't actually have the guts, be man enough to actually tell her that I like her, and I felt actually dirty, and I shouldn't do, because I'm just think of her in that way. But I thought if I don't tell her that I like her in that way, she'd wonder what I'm on about. She won't literally know what I mean. And I thought at the same time, well, I've just got to let it out, you know, because there is such thing as like analysing things. And I thought, well, being honesty, you know, is the most important thing. I don't want to feel like I'm a liar, even when I'm not. And I just told her that, and all I say is this person, yeah, she's around this sector, Lena, and she has a man in life. That's all I can say. And I was wrestling with it and thinking, well, would I want some other man going after a woman of mine, even if I didn't love them, or possibly didn't, you know, without me wanting to think that? But I'm honest or not to say whether I hope that that's the case or not. But I want some honesty my way. So I thought, well, I've got to be honest. It's only the right thing to do, to be honest. And, you know, that's basically, you know, just what's happened around other whack jobs. Wasn't my woman, was it? No, certainly not yours, Taff. No. Well, I hope it isn't anyway. No, joking apart. I know you know a lady in Wales, don't you? Is it or you were dating a lady called Alice, were you? Is that right, mate? I'm convinced those people live in a caravan. Was it Kimmy's Kermit wife? No. Shall I give you one a hint? Oh no, it's probably not the right thing to do. Each person is different and deals with their shit different. Oh, that's very true, actually. Yeah, that is no point. It's true, Taffy. They're 100% actually there, because, you know, that's all different. We just, you know, even regards to like where we come from, what our upbringing was, or what country we come from, we've all got our own personalities. You know, like you, Taff, you're Taff. You're not the same as like another guy in Wales, even. You know, you've got your own individual self. The same as Lena's got her own self. She's not going to be the same as like every other lady in her country. You know, is she around this sector? That's old Lena's. Definitely, she is. Lena's jokes here. I'm convinced. The other comment. Was it Kimmy's Kermit's wife? No. But she's, well, I'll give you a few clues because I'm not ashamed, but I don't know if she feels comfortable me just saying who it is at the moment. But she's a firecracker. She's got a lot of passion. She will tell anyone straight, even anyone that she likes. She's not biased in that way. She will tell it like it is. Basically, she'd tell anyone straight. Doesn't matter whether who they are, their best friend or whatever. She's honest and quite a balanced person. I like to think she is, what I know of her, but she's very straightforward, honest, and yeah, and really fun. You know, I like the way that she even has a go at people. You know, even like things I don't know a lot about, but that'll sit on the fence. But the way that she like machine gun people, and just in her little ways, her expressions and that, you know. It's just little things really like that entertain me and that are like draw me towards her. Kimmy's an old woman who flirts with everyone. Lena said, yeah, give us a hint. I'll give you a hint, Lena. Her name, one of the first letters, it's with an N. It begins with, and it's 5 letters long. Correct. Yes, Alice. Yeah, it didn't work out. Oh, sorry to hear that, Taffy. Genuinely sorry about that. Especially if you had high hopes and that. You know, it's always it takes time to heal, but never give up. You know, if you find the right person, because people say love isn't just about our own ego, about even the balance side of it, man and woman. You know, pleasure. Most respectful way I can say it, it is about, growing as individuals and in a holy way as well. And some people, say that like if someone comes into our life and that, sometimes like when people come into people's life, it sounds like cheesy, very cheesy, but sometimes like when people have like gone through like years of maybe like a horrible time in their life, and someone comes into their life at the right time, where they've been lucky enough to have happiness. But all I say is never give up, Taff. You know, you don't know who's out there, and you know, speaking honestly, you know, raw honesty, you know, that regardless of how painful, like, you know, how painful it's been, just never give up. You know, just always, you know, because especially when you know, I think a lot of people know when they found after a while, because it's like when you speak to someone the first time, and you know that person's your soulmate, you often get a feeling, don't you? You know, like when you never argue with them, and if that person just literally wants to be around you all the time, even if like you don't maybe share all the same connections, but if they want to be around you all the time or most of the time, then you know that it's got to be right. You know, does a woman's name start with an R? No, it starts with a N, Taff. No, I'm unique and extraordinary. Yeah. What's the name start with? Oh, with a N, Lena. N for no. Does she go on panels? Yes. Zara, no. I mean, I like Zara, and you know, she's obviously, you know, not lying, not in a disrespectful way. She's attractive, but I mean, I'm she's not a person that I've you know, thought of, you know, in that way. You know, Lena, I wasn't thinking the same. Don't tell me it's that Symptoms character. No, Zara flirts everyone. All right. Yeah. I'm a little bit, I don't know how to answer that one, Taff. If I'm being honest, I have to say yes. And to you, Lena, yeah, it's definitely Nixie. Yeah. Yeah, my confession. I didn't think I'd see it myself, but that was a good guess. That's so weird. Oh no. Well, don't prove it, Lean, or just think that we're too different, or I'll never give up, lad. No, don't, Taff. That's all you can do, you know. Or you just keep, you know, just doing the best of you. That's all you can do. Go on a dating site, dude. You'll find folk who are looking for the same thing. Yeah, but I don't know if I find someone maybe that connection, you know. I know there's always no fish in the sea. I know what you mean, Lena. You know, and even on the internet, you know, none of us have met enough people to say where we haven't met the right person, or not likely to that be the case. But all I could say is at this point in time, it's you know, complicated. It's you know, I didn't think this would happen. You know, it's weird in that way. If that's, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm being harsh, but it is weird. But at the same time, I feel that if I'm being honest, I think this moment it's unshakable. My feeling towards I'm rock and roll. All right, take care. This took a weird turn. Yeah, playing fish in the sea, definitely. Yeah. I'll say night, everyone. Morning, everyone, and thanks for popping by, Lena, and as always, Senior and Taff. Yeah, bit emotional, but it's been good though, and I appreciate, you know, I appreciate all of you, and thanks for Taffy, because, you know, especially Taffy, because, like, you know, I haven't been on this channel bothered to in a while or anything, and just my own reasons, just haven't bothered. But you know, when people, I never forget any good turn, you know, like in the past, you know, even when things were a bit rocky, and Taffy was one of the first people, and Moon, you know, before I become friends with Moon and Easy, and, you know, properly. And, you know, again, you know, because it's just being truthful, I always give credit where it's due. And if that changed where I look at people, then good, because it's all positive, you know, anything positive is always positive. You're welcome, fella. Yeah, but thanks, Taff. It shows that you got a heart. You know that you got a good side, and yeah. I hope things are better than that and better for you, because I know what it's like when when you got strong feelings to someone. It does take a long while to heal. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. See you all later. Take care, everybody. Bye.